Welcome back, folks. If you're just joining us, this is the Super Morning Show on ELBC Radio 99.9 FM. Thanks to all of you for joining us on this presentation. We we now have with us live on the line the Managing Director of the Liberia Airport Authority, the Honorable Bishop J. Allan Klayee. Good morning, sir. Thank you for joining us. It's a pleasure.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Great, and thank you very kindly for being a part of the Super Morning Show on ELBC Radio. Now, the airport has been closed for a while now, but I know that some special flights, a very few of them have been coming in and going out. But yesterday, officially, um, flights are resumed officially yesterday. So please tell us, before the entire resumption of flights or reopening of the RIA, what has been happening in terms of preparations up to this moment?
Well, thank you, Dan. As you may know, we've been closed for almost three months and a half now. But predicated to the vertical announcement by the president for the reopening of the airport, we have been processing and preparing for the reopening, especially for yesterday. We've taken almost 2 to 3 weeks to prepare. And predicated upon that, we put some protocols together that will guide our passengers, both in and outbound passengers, that will guide them. If you can give me some time, that I'll be able to just give a synopsis of the protocols we put together, that will be good.
Sure, please go ahead. It's very important for the benefit of the public.
Well, we have two protocols that we put together because, as you may know, we are working along with the Ministry of Health, though we are an airport, but the whole system has changed because of COVID-19. So we have the health practitioner
Hmm.
who are heavily involved with our day-to-day work now at the airport. So we have their own protocol that I have here, and we have our own protocol as the airport. But we put them together, and we're going to work together to be able to help us fight COVID-19. For the RI access protocol, we have number one, all passengers are to arrive 4 hours before the check-in time. All passengers
4 hours.
traveling, yeah, 4 hours. All passengers traveling are to arrive 4 hours before the check-in time. All passengers must wear a face mask.
Whether you coming in or going out.
Whether you're coming in or going out, you must wear a face mask. Only ticketed passengers will be allowed to enter into the airport. Only ticketed passengers will be allowed to enter into the airport. All passengers will be required to wash their hands. All passengers will be required to wash their hands. All passengers entering the airport gate will be subjected to a mandatory screening. Whether you are screened in town, whether you are screened where, but you will be, in as much as you are entering the airport gate, you will be subjected to mandatory screening. Passengers will be required to stand in marked space within the terminal and
Okay.
outside of the terminal. We have spaces with marked outside of the terminal where you need to stand, and in the terminal where you need to stand according to our protocol as an airport. This is the protocol for the airport. The health measure and protocol.
Hmm.
All passengers arriving and departing will be required to have their temperature taken for symptoms of COVID-19 and register through a phone number or a mobile app. All arriving passengers who have been tested at the port of departure must present a valid negative result document on arrival at RIA. I go back. All arriving passengers who have been tested at the point of departure must present a valid negative result document on arrival at RIA.
Now, I have to ask a question, there. Now, it's almost impossible for you to know who had or who did not have COVID 19 that might be coming to Liberia. And so, how do you know that this person had COVID and tested negative before you even ask them for a certificate?
Well, that's why your temperature will be taken here when you disembark, and besides that, uh, you will be tested from your point of departure.
Mm.
You will be tested from your point of departure, and when you get into the country, you will not just be left alone. Though we will not be quarantining people at the airport, but you will be monitored by an app through MPhil and the Ministry of Health, and they will be monitoring you while you are here. And predicated upon that, they are able to pick you up. But if you have a valid certificate or document that proves that you are COVID-19 free, it also makes us to relax what we're supposed to do here. We allow you go and you be monitored.
Okay, I get it now. I get it now. But do you have not a center, but a holding, place where if somebody's temperature is high, for example, 38, 39 degrees, if somebody's temperature is high, you can hold them, for a period until public health authorities arrive on the scene.
Well, just as I told you from the onset, we are working concomitantly with the Ministry of Health and MPhil and WHO, and we have set aside at the airport that can temporarily host people until after the test, then you can be taken to the proper place through the health people. That's why I want to just go through the health
Yeah, go
measure,
ahead,
then we can.
continue, please.
Yeah. Okay, all quarantine, all arriving passengers who have not been tested at point of departure will be required to take a rapid test and a PCR swab at the airport. All arriving passengers who have not been tested at point of departure will be required to take a rapid test and a PCR swab at the airport. In the event of a positive rapid test, just as you just asked, in the event of a positive rapid test result, the passenger will be placed in the holding unit at the airport for pending or final or test.
Mm.
Passengers having negative results will be allowed to go home pending final test. There will be continuous symptoms monitoring via the mobile apps from the Ministry of Health and MPhil. And I think these are the measures both from the airport standpoint and the the Ministry of Health and MPhil standpoint.
Now, one thing I like to know is the fact that we've opened our airport. It doesn't mean that our neighbors have, especially to international flights. I know Ghana and Nigeria have been opening to mostly domestic flights. So at this point, I understand Brussels should have been the first to arrive after the opening. Is that true?
Yes, we expect Brussels today. Yesterday we had the opening of the airport. Our first flight today is Brussels and Brussels. I just heard you say that our neighboring countries are now opening. That's the fight. Everybody have their own set time,
Mm.
and we are different countries. Everybody have their set time to open. For the matter of fact, this period that we are in the testing period. In fact, Brussels is going to go through Abidjan this time instead of Ghana because this is a test flight, and that's what
Okay.
we are doing. Other countries are also going to be testing this week, next week, and between now and August, I believe we will be in the testing period.
Interesting. Now, tell me, Bishop Clay. I know the airport is a major source of how we get all of our international guests, at least 90 to 95% into in and out of the country on a regular basis. How much was the airport losing? As to this entire closure, almost 3 months. Do you have a tally of how much the airport lost in terms of revenue generation over the period?
The airport lost everything. the airport lost everything uh, for the past 3 months. During the 3 months, we lost everything. I'd like you to know that the operation of the airport, uh, what our major expenditure is dependent on our fuel consumption. We
Mm.
run the airport on generators, not city power, and 60% or 70% of our expenditure is on fuel. Even though the airport was closed, but we had special medical flights and repatriation flights
Yeah.
that were that were coming and going. But in the midst of that, we had to keep our equipments on. Even if flights weren't coming, we had to keep our equipments on. We have valuable equipments that cost millions of dollars that you can shut down, even if the place is closed. Because if you do that, you will have to calibrate them again in the future, and it will cost you thousands of dollars. So you need to keep them up. So we kept the airport up, though flights weren't coming, commercial flights, but we had medical flights coming. And these flights that were coming, uh, it didn't impact our economy at the airport at all because they were special medical flights and
Mm.
repatriation flights that were free flights. But in the midst of all, we still kept the place running, and we generated nothing at all. We generated nothing. We lost everything in the past 3 months, and we are just, I mean, starting again and believing that things will be okay.
Sure, and I can only hope for the better as we strive to see, things get better, and we all, can walk away from coronavirus. But on another front, still on the issue with the Rabat International Airport, I'd like to know in terms of when we had our first case of coronavirus, the index case, there were concerns that he may have refused to follow the protocols, and so that became a big talk in the town. What is your resolve as managing director that this time around, upon reopening, no one, regardless of their status in society, will will decide to intentionally not go through the protocols?
Well, we at this time, because of the condition, we are going to enforce. I don't want to say reinforce, but we are going to enforce vehemently everything that has to do with the protocols will be adhered to. We are going to enforce it both with our health practitioner and our security forces there, plus our workers. We are going to enforce everything that is penned down here, and as a measure, we want to make sure we enforce it. Now, let me make something clear.
Uh,
Besides the president and the first family, the vice president and others who we have as our diplomats.
mhm.
We have as our VIPs rather. We have our diplomats and other people. We want to treat and make sure everybody follow the procedure as it will be, because COVID-19 does not distinguish between diplomats and the ordinary people.
Mhm.
We are not in a normal time, so we have to follow the protocol. You can be a diplomat, the same protocol that the ordinary people follow, you're going to follow it. And nobody is going to tell us that I'm a diplomat, so I will be treated differently. No, you're going to follow the same protocol. Besides the president of the Republic of Liberia and his entourage, we are not going to make anything slight in the airport. A diplomat traveling will follow the measure. A diplomat arriving will follow the measure. Even government officials, everybody will follow the measure, and we want to make sure we have a mandate to make sure that it works and it's going to work.
Now, I know that the fact that flights are opening, there will be a rush, you know, at the airport because I know a lot of people, some of them who have to go for medical, others have different reasons why they have to leave or come back, and all of those. Yes, all of the protocols have been set in place, but in terms of customer service, to be able to withhold and withstand the shock and the inflow of people that will be making their way through different routes from the Rabas International Airport.
In terms of what?
Your preparedness, not for protocol's sake, but for customer service.
Oh, well, as you may know, In West Africa, I think we have one of the best customer service uh, team here at the Rabos International Airport, and they are still here. We have several of them, and besides that, we've been going through some trainings because we know that we are in the process of opening the airport. So all of our departments we've been carrying out trainings as to how to be able to, work with our passengers and what have you. For the customer service and our passenger services people, they are all trained, and in fact, we have several of them to make sure that everything we want to do, we do it on time to be able to meet up with time as it relates to passengers traveling.
Interesting. Now, I'm going to give a few of our listeners a chance to ask you some questions, and then I'll come back and join you to respond to some of the questions. I would like you to keep monitoring the radio as we do that.
Okay.
Thank you very much, sir. We'll rejoin you very shortly to bring us up to speed.
I say, look, son,
Yes, Daddy.
please go and get me my radio.
Where is it?
Is it on EL?
Show, this is ELBC Radio 99.9 FM. Wherever you are, I would like to say thanks very kindly for joining us on this presentation of the Super Morning Show on ELBC Radio. We sincerely apologize for the abrupt break in transmission, but we're back and we're live on 99.9 FM. And so we've been in conversation with the Honorable Managing Director of the Liberia Airport Authority, Bishop Allan Klayee. He's been speaking to us this morning on the reopening of the Rabos International Airport. Now, I got a couple of questions here already. Few folks have sent me some text messages. When I rejoin him, I will definitely bring them to him. But let's take the calls. 0880-514-096, 0880-514-096 or 0776-089-713. So you can put in your questions. He's listening, and after that we will rejoin him to answer some of your questions. Myself will be jotting down some of your questions and concerns. Let's hear from the first caller. Good morning.
Good morning, Daniel. How you doing this morning?
I'm fine, sir. What is your name?
This is Reverend Sarah David Tuba the second. I call it from Maryland.
Go ahead,
Hamburg,
Reverend Tuba.
specifically. Yeah, one of the questions that you actually asking and that you need to make emphasis with is in regard to the index case of this country. That some of the things, some of the issues that brought the issue about is the issue of, you know, who am I, and I don't belong in the particular category. How firm is the airport authority in terms of making sure that people will not make such statements that I don't belong in this particular category where I will be suggested to testing or to waiting for several hours? How sincere the airport authority is. And this is key in this process.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Let's hear from the next caller. Good morning.
Good morning. Daniel, for listeners following the broadcast. This is Oboso Ochuko. Daniel, I listened to the airport authority here. I think he spoke well. Daniel, the economy needs to be open. The Rabos International Airport is one of the highest generating revenue of our country. So I think what I foresee has to do with the health ministry continuing the enforcement of the preventive measures of the COVID process. When I listen to one of the callers not too long, like people are putting on their shoulder, who am I? Do you know who am I? For me, I have not seen this existing because this COVID fight, we have noticed that no matter whether you may be who, you have been quarantined by the health ministry. You don't know what position you may have. At the end of the day, you will go at the 15 military hospital, and that has been the remedy of the day to continue this process. So we are asking the health ministry to continue the process, even the 14 days.
Okay.
Where when you travel and enter the country, they will keep you for 14 days, or then
Thank you, Ojuku. Thank you very much. Let's speak with the next person. Good morning.
Good morning.
What is your name?
Yeah, my name is Stephen Jason. I'm phoning you from Grangida County.
From Grangida County. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, thank you very much. We appreciate the government by allowing the economies to at least try to refund. But we would like to do this because refunding the economic it is good, but our life is there. Because this is a CFO which brought the problem into this country. And now those people, those authorities that are taking care of the airport, they should be able to be very sincere indeed to deal with those people. They're part of their position. And the methods of keeping those people for 14 days, we believe that the best way that we think that if they do so, that will be all right. Because we don't know, some people will go and take false document and come and say our text is negative. But if they place those people for that 14 days, any other problem, then they will diagnose the problem. So we beg them that they take care of the airport and they take care of the Liberian people. We wish them the success. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Let's join the next caller. Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Daniel Akrat, and good morning to the Council of Liberia.
Go ahead.
My name is Abraham Political Modrisetu. I call from the office of the Veteran Bureau on the most talk about Babu having the government this morning. And let me appreciate the government of Liberia for reopening the airport. You know, moving from one stage to another is very more unique. I hope and pray that our partners, those who travel with go by preventive measures to save life. It is help that the real life now see and go. Let's do all the possible can for to maintain our country. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to get a positive mindset. We can eradicate coronavirus from our Liberia.
Thank you. I'm taking two more calls and then we'll go back to Bishop Klayee. Good morning.
Good morning, Daniel.
Welcome. What is your name?
The name with me, John Dennis, now joining for the Maryland County, Flevo.
Go ahead, John.
I want to say thank to the LIS manager. I appreciate but I want to understand Sonny. They were presenting the expo the last time, then the man that be mentioned, they never look at Mr. Blama, and then today we have a lot of cases. So I know which are the measures you people in the place.
Thank you very much. Okay, we take the final call and then we join Bishop Klayee next on this presentation. And so let me go back to Bishop Klayee now to address some of these concerns. And myself, I have one more concern too. So let me go back to him right now and speak with him live on the line here on the Super Morning Show. So if you're just joining us, you're following the SMS and it's on 99.9 FM. Bishop Klayee, welcome back. I'm sure you heard the callers, but before you even start off, let me ask you this. All of these measures that are being put into place, I'm not sure people are going to reach to the airport before they get to know. So what is the airport authority doing to inform passengers, both those who are in country and those who may want to fly to Liberia? How can they get to be aware of some of these measures so that they put themselves together and not have conflict when they get at the airport?
Well, just as I told you from the onset, we worked with our stakeholders here, and they are called the airlines.
Yeah.
And the airlines are our partners that we disseminate information to as it relates to their passengers coming on their flight so that they can be aware.
So it's the airline's responsibility to inform those coming in? Yeah,
those coming in. And not just that, but the government also issue a press release, Honorable Eugene Nangbe, that if you go online, and I think it will be with you soon, not just for people outside, but even those of our people from in-country who are intending to travel, they have to also know about this. So we are in touch with the airlines, and we've given them our protocols, both the health and the airport protocol. This protocol was also made through them. We took some ideas from them because all the airlines had their own protocol. So we all met and put everything together, and this is how we arrive at this. They are aware, and we've sent it to them, and their airlines are going to inform passengers that are coming. Besides that, it's on our website. Our PRO team has done it. It's on the LAA website. The Ministry of Information, I also sent it on your website. It's on the Executive Mansion website. In fact, we did a walk-in presentation, and in fact, the video is all over. I mean, the information has been disseminated all over the place. but the bulk majority of the people, I believe that they will get the information from the airlines, even though we have done it from our end.
What are your thoughts about some of the callers' concerns? I'm sure you heard some of them.
Yeah, I heard some of them, and I didn't pick up some of them because where I am is raining heavily. So the few that I heard, maybe some of them that I will not address, you can ask me, and I will be able to address it. But let's say 2 or 3 of them just narrow down to the same thing that the others were saying, as it relates to category of people.
That was generally their concern.
Yes, that's what I captured from there. And as I said previously, we will not discriminate at this time because COVID-19 does not discriminate. In fact, the people in Nuku Town, the people in Soniwen, the people in Douala and other places, I mean, those people that are living in the slum and other places, the common people, though they can have it, but this thing was brought in the country by, quote-unquote, someone higher. And then predicated upon this, we have to make sure that we pay keen attention, especially to people who are always saying, do you know who I am? COVID-19 does not know who you are. So predicated upon this, we want to make sure that our nation whole, and we have a strict mandate that besides the president and the first family and his entourage, even cabinet ministers, managing directors, even me, diplomats, we want to make sure that you go through this process. That's why we're sending it to all the embassies, and it's on air so that everybody can know. We have to make sure that we save our country. You know, coronavirus, we have to live with it, but we have to make sure we curtail it.
Now, I'm going to leave you right now, but just finally, as I get your parting comments, I hope you can re-emphasize the fact that people need to arrive at the airport 4 hours before their flight. Man, I know some people.
Yes.
Your parting comments, sir.
Well, before I give my parting comment, I'd like to reiterate or make mention of something that we didn't talk about.
Okay.
That I thought I should mention here. Somebody will ask, or I expected that question, but they didn't ask, so I'd like to just clear it. The government have curfew, 6 o'clock curfew.
Yep.
The airport is open. And others may be asking, but managing director, how does they work?
If your flight comes after 8, or you have to travel after 6.
Okay, this is what we put together. That the passenger will send his or her itinerary to the person picking them up, and we have arranged with all of the checkpoints that anyone coming to pick up their people at the airport, they have to show the itinerary, and then they will give you passage to come and get the person and go back. That is already put in place, so it doesn't have anything to do with.
So there is no itinerary for a visiting person, for example. So what would they have to show then?
We give them a pass from the airport to show that they just landed, and I mean they came on this flight, and everything will be in the pass that we give them. That the checkpoints or the gates will be able to give them access to the city.
Would that pass be free of charge?
Oh, definitely. That's why we are an airport. Yeah, that's why we are an airport, and we believe that will be.
Okay. Once you arrive in, you get a pass that takes you to town. If you're going to pick up someone, you have a copy of the itinerary.
Yes.
Okay. Well, sir, thank you, sir, for joining us.
You're welcome, man. You're welcome.
All right, he is the managing director of the Liberia Airport Authority, joining us live on the Super Morning Show and laying out very clearly, very clearly, terms and conditions relating to the reopening of the airport. Officially, Brussels is expected to do a test run today, expected to come through Abidjan instead of Ghana and arrive in Monrovia. Normally, Brussels flights will arrive around 8 p.m. So stay with us. Next, we speak with Lofa County Senator George Tengbe. Some politics coming up. Stay tuned. We will be right back. This is Daniel Ankra live on the Super Morning Show on 99.9 FM ELBC Radio.
Must all rise. Let's stand together to fight Corona. It's a severe respiratory problem.
This is ELBC Radio 99.9 FM. You following this Super Morning Show here with me, Daniel. Next, we have Lofa County Senator Josh Tengbe live on the line. Senator, good morning.
Good morning, Daniel. Good morning to everyone that is listening to us this morning.
So, is Josh Tamba Tengbe, eh?
Yeah.
Lofa when you get Tamba or Sa or Sia or
That's how unique the Lofa culture is. Then you go to a Nimba, they will have cold, they will have things.
Most definitely. Thank you, sir, for joining us. It's a
You're
pleasure
welcome.
having you. Now, Senator Tengbe, you, along with other senators, and this morning is strictly politics, you, along with other senators, joined the CDC, and confirming that. I'd like to ask, what brought the change? I knew you to be a Unity Party stalwart. What changed?
Oh, definitely. Thank you. You know, a human makes decision every day.
Mm-hmm.
And every day you are at the crossroad of making decision in life. That's exactly what makes a man. We've been members of the Unity Party before, but we felt like the way we've been treated over the years didn't go down well with us. We tried to remain there, but we keep getting a slap on the back. I don't want to go into the nitty-gritty of the whole thing, but I just made up my mind based on some consultations from my close allies, people who know who I am, and we just took that decision to have left the Unity Party. And my resignation letter was on the 5th of April this year.
April 5th
And,
this year.
Yes.
So that means you
And,
took
as
some
soon
time
as
out
the
to
letter was-
review things.
Come on.
I said that means you must have taken some time out to review things if your letter of resignation came on the 5th
That's
of April.
exactly what I said.
Mm.
I won't just jump the gun to say, oh, I will resign today. So I've been independent, and, you know, an institution is important. And as a result, after several consultations, going back home, consulting my family, my friends, those in out of this country, we decided to shift the ball around. We made up our mind to join the Coalition for Democratic Change, and that took place on Saturday of last week. We are happy. We had 3 senators, but each senator is responsible for himself, and we made up our own decision, and so we did.
Did you take note of what Chairman Moba Molu said, that joining the party does not mean that you automatically will be or you will win the primaries in the county to be on the party's ticket? Now, that could be disastrous if you don't win the primaries and you don't get to make it in time to, squeeze yourself in as an independent candidate.
Not just taking notes, but I'm happy that he made that remark. And that's the national chairman for the party, which we joined. And that would tell people that we didn't just come with the mind that, oh, we are comfortable, we're going to go on the CDC ticket. I think somewhat whatever that will happen, life must move on. I mean, you can't have one hope in life. The only hope you can have in life is being with God. God has the decision for every individual. And I said that day that I believe in predestination. What happened on Saturday was predestined by God. I may not have known it would happen, but it happened. So it's no threat. I mean, it brings no fear to us. We are relaxed about it, and we are happy. That's the chairman. He made a remark that tells the people that people are not just coming so that they can go on the ticket. They'll have to go through the due process. That's fair enough.
Now, did you do consultation with the people in Lofa? Because that's also, Lofa County, looking at the results of the 2017 elections, Lofa is one of those counties, probably the only county that overwhelmingly did not vote this administration.
Definitely, I did. You know, Lofa, you have about 8, 9 persons coming to unseat Senator Tengbe, and so everybody has their own supporter, everybody has his own or own camp, and so people that are in my support, we made several consultations, and by the time we took that decision that day, we took that post that day, we received commendation that it was good that you went in that direction, because the fact remains that
you sure?
You know, most of the time, why would I lie to you?
No, as you.
I will not. I'm only telling you something. Why would I lie to you? Why would it benefit me? The best person you can lie to is yourself.
Sure.
I will not have everybody commending me, but I said people in my own camp make commendation. That's what I'm saying.
I got you.
Because based on consultation, went in that direction. And when it comes to politics in this country, you will agree with me or you may not. It goes local. We have local politics. And people will also look at the individual, not just about the institution that covers you, but the individual, your performance, what you do, your integrity is what will carry you.
Are you also aware of the fact that you have lots of, well, some may call them strong, some not so strong contenders who will likely be candidates for the Lofa seat, which is a very key seat as to how things move forward?
My political fight in life.
Do you see yourself getting re-elected?
My political fight in life is I'm always focused. Not just to the vision, but to my goal. So I'm not worried about who is coming in the race against me or who is not. I am focused. I am optimistic that yes, we won before and we can win again.
Is this a means of securing the seat now for the CDC, eyeing maybe 2023 when you can be able to amass more votes for the ruling establishment?
Whatever happens will be in the best interest of this country.
There's one question there's one question we always ask, when we're talking about elections, and that is, if you don't win, would you accept, even if you don't win the primaries to begin with, or you don't win the entire elections, will you accept the results? We always ask those questions.
And some of us will always answer the way we should answer. I'm answering personally. I will always accept the result. I'm not going to be running to court, running here and there, doing what? I mean, is that the only hope in life? That's what I told you from the beginning. Whatever happens, in my mind, it's been predestined by God, and we go by it. We just do what we're supposed to do in our own human way that we are able to do with the wisdom that God has given us.
Okay, Senator, now I see my lines ringing already. I'll give the public, some chance to ask you a few questions as to your, as part of your motivation to join the coalition. Do you feel any different that, some people may think about you differently, that you were part of the ruling establishment under former President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, and now a lot of people might think that because, you won re-election so badly, so you running to the CDC to get coverage, so that you can be able to win?
I live my life. The life I live is not about what people think about me. The life I live is about what I think is right for me and everyone else. So people will think differently, somewhat may. Even if Jesus Christ will come down here today, people will think differently of him. So I am just a mere human being. People will think whatever way they may want to think about me. If we were not thinking otherwise, why you think you have other people going against me? So come what me. People will think the way they say. That's their opinion.
Sure.
It's their right to think that way. But I'm not living the life that I should live to please other people. If you want to please everyone, then of course you aim for failure. So that's not my goal. I told you my goal is I'm focused to do exactly what I think is best.
Okay, Senator, at this point we will leave you and come back to you. As we take the calls, you are following already. I know you're monitoring the radio already. So we'll take the calls and listen very carefully to the callers, and then we can come back to you.
You're welcome.
Okay, we will rejoin him very shortly. Senator Josh Tamba Tengbe joining us live on the line. Let's take some calls now. 0880-514-096, 0776-089713. Good morning.
Good morning again. This is Super from Harper. My question is just a simple question. Which of the parties, because the coalition has three establishments in terms of three different parties making up the coalition, which of the parties that he came through to join the coalition? That is my simple question.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Well, no, he didn't come to any of them. He just joined. Hello.
Morning.
Good morning. What is your name?
Daniel. Morning to listeners following the broadcast. This is Ojuku Ogboswa. Ogboswa Ojuku. Honor Senator, good morning to you. Let me say bravo, congratulations, and welcome to the Coalition for Democratic Change. I think the decision you took one of the best decisions ever in your political history. It is because of the people of Lofa County. You want to see Lofa move forward. You want to see the development of Lofa and Celia's being taken over. This is why you have the modern road today. The discussion is you are seeing a modern city hall today. Construction is going on. So you have to ask people why I cannot join the coalition. I think there's a question now. So to answer the central question, in my mind, you want to see Lofa develop, moving Lofa forward and join the coalition, because the coalition is a matter of change, a matter of much. Liberia should be a modern country. So all of them are joining the CDC. They are joining the CDC to ensure that we all can join hands together to move our country forward. How old this country is, still undeveloped. This is the time to unite ourselves on one umbrella to move our country forward.
Thank you very much, Ojuku. Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning.
What is your name?
Yeah, my name is Steve. I'm following you from Liberia County, the defender of the people in general.
Go ahead, please.
Yeah, I would like to appreciate the effort of the senator, those men who joined the coalition of democratic change, and they have made the best decision ever in their life, the political best decision ever they are making in their life. We welcome them. We are the defender. We're going to support them any other way out to see how best they can come up with a fine color. Thank you to them. God bless them, and they take my blessing. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Let me take the next call. Good morning. Oh, sorry about that. Good morning. Good morning. Yeah, good morning. Go ahead. I can hear you. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm back over calling you from Propaganda.
You call from Lofa. Hey, yeah, I don't want to drop you. Your line is so, but can you walk a bit to a better position? You coming?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Better now.
Okay, I'm going to write the minister for Crossovers for a Crossovers, nothing to us. That's it. That is bad.
Oh, too bad. He dropped off the line. Just couldn't really get him clearly. Hello, good morning. Okay, that caller dropped off the line. 0776-089713. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Daniel.
Welcome. What is your name?
Yeah, this is the party for political affairs, the movement to protect Ambassador. We are legacy for short mobile. Anthony Daniel calling from Togo this morning.
Go ahead, Anthony.
Yeah, let me say welcome to the senator for joining the great legal institution called CDC. But my question to the honorable senator this morning is, what are some of the achievements from the last 12 years the Unity Party compared to the 2 years and a half of the CDC in that of Lofa County or 4 years? Because it's been the Unity Party before. You said the 12 years with the Unity Party and the very 2 years and a half now with the CDC. And what is the relationship between Sir Joseph, Jefferson Kochi, and Fala? Can you please address that also?
What? That one will take another 1 hour. Let me take the final caller that come back to the senator. Hello? What is your name?
My name is Isaac Roger. District number 4, Lofa County.
District 4, Lofa. Go ahead, please.
Daniel, I'm seeing and my senator's institute that he say
he joined the coalition. Let me tell you, he's not going to get one vote in the county. He said he are not making a way. You know, he will not make a way in
but
his
why
party.
you shame now?
So, because there's no tangible. Daniel, no
you're not the
tangible.
one that joined, so why you shame?
I say I'm shame for him because he's not going to win election. He's looking for 4 ballots. Let me tell you, Daniel, he knows me well. There is no person in the time where there's a person that enter the city. You don't know where he is.
Hello?
Yeah, Daniel.
Thank you very much for expressing your views, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Let me go back now and join Senator Tengbe on the line to respond before we wrap up this conversation here on the Super Morning Show on 99.9 FM. It's exactly 5 minutes, so we use the last 5 minutes to wrap up. Senator?
Good morning. Good morning.
Why are you laughing?
I laugh because the last caller was very interesting.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Thank you very much, and I appreciate all of the callers. And you gave your view. I mean, that's your opinion. Let me start with the last caller who said he is ashamed. I don't know why you should be ashamed. Yeah, for me. I don't know why you should be ashamed for me. He's talking about no tangible. So I don't really know whether he's really calling from Lofa County or whether he knows Lofa County well. For you to come up to say, Senator Tema will not get one vote, so meaning that I will not even vote for myself. That's his opinion. I think that goes right back to him. He is entitled to it. And I listened to a second caller who commended me as well, and then asking me to compare development, especially, so to speak, in FOIA, the 12 years of Unity Party and a couple of years by the CDC. We're not going to go into that right now. As a process, we are going through a process, through a period. By the time that period shall have ended, I think we'll be able to cut the cake. But right now, we are in the process of development in our county. And so right now, we're moving. Progressively, and we want to appreciate our brothers. He also has relationship among us. My junior brothers and all of the guys he mentioned, all of the honorable men he made mention of. But thank God we all heal from FOIA. And so for years, they haven't gone by home, so to speak. And so thank God this time around, all of them are looking back home, not just in FOIA, but in Lofa County. So when we're speaking about development, we're not speaking about development only in one place in the county. We want to decentralize development in our county. So it's not just about FOIA. And let me take this time to commend them. They are doing well through His Excellency, the President, George Manawia, as we speak. Progress is going on in our county. And so our relationship is cordial. They call me Big Brother. And so they listen to me. I listen to them politically. Thank God we all come from the same county. And I don't want to let this go. This government has a lot of able, capable Lofians in it. And so we try to focus home. Yes, people will say Unity Party has been a stronghold Lofa County has been a stronghold of Unity Party. I said earlier that when it comes to local politics, people will look at the individual, the way you want to carry on development. That's why, again, to the last caller, what tangible, I'm not out there campaigning right now. I'm still within the mandate of my 9 years. By the time I shall have ended my 9 years period, again, the people will decide on me. So I'm not going around, I will do this, I will do that. I will be shooting myself in the leg. Let the people take a retrospect, look back, and see what Senator Tengbe has done, what he is doing, and what he intends to do. So basically, I think that's it. We went strictly on Saturday. Yes. Earlier, we filled in.
So it was you. It was Senator Yala and who?
And Senator Victor Watson.
Senator Victor Watson of Grand Cape Mount, yeah.
Like they refer to him as, he himself said he came back. He was there before, but he came back. He left the party, and now he is back home. And I was like joking, thank God we can bring you back home. And so we joined strictly the Congress for Democratic Change. By extension, the Coalition for Democratic Change. So that has been our position. That is our position proudly.
All right. Well, Senator, thank you very much. Another time we'll talk about more issues obtaining at the level of Liberian Senate. But thanks for speaking to this particular issue, Senator.
Thank you so much. We keep the political battle on, and we'll keep the fuel burning. Thank you.
Thank you very much. He is Lofa County Senator Josh Tamba Tengwe joining us live on the Super Morning Show. So, folks, on that note is how we come to the end of today's presentation of the SMS. I'm Daniel Ankra. I will be back tomorrow morning with another fascinating presentation. But, of course, until then, have a wonderful day. And I can't leave this presentation today without saying pre-birthday to Tibela Kumba Songo. Bye-bye from my end. Till tomorrow, I'll be back here 6:30 tomorrow morning.